evening we're going to be discussing the future arbitrators, lawyers and experts in arbitration, our duty to them, and looking forward to a call to action.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dubai Arbitration Week started in 2012 and it gets bigger and bigger every year. Our session tonight is about creating future leaders in arbitration. Claire is on our panel as our senior expert.
We're having an absolutely fantastic evening tonight. We've welcomed so many diverse members of our disputes community across Dubai and the Middle East.
Claire, did you always want to be an expert?
I don't know. I don't know if I did ever see my path to getting on the stand and being interrogated and to actually putting myself out there in front of scary lawyers, barristers, arbitrators.
Scary.
No,
Did you say scary?
I'm not sure when you start out in the auditing world and you're doing your accountancy qualifications all those years ago, that you really know where it's going to take you. But all that experience over the years, I mean, there's a lot of practical experience, there's a lot of client interaction, you know, how do you communicate with the people that really need to understand what you're talking about, and those really hands-on skills. All I would say is, not all accountants are destined to be experts. It is a skill, you know, putting yourself out there, what you say and how you say it with clarity. And so I feel for experts, there is a path to gaining some more specific qualifications. But I think there is training that experts can have in terms of how to present themselves on the stand, what they say, how they say it.
Yeah, I think it's a very important point there, Claire. When you want to become an expert, don't rush into that role. Get your practical experience. I mean, I practiced as a quantity surveyor probably for about 20 years before I really started on taking on expert appointments. Serchan, given where you are in your career, do you have anything to add to what Claire has said so far?
What I can mention is those people skills and soft skills are also very important, because we, in the international complex projects, we deal with different nationalities, different contractors. Everybody has different aims, trying to achieve different objectives, and trying to understand those dynamics in the projects. Understand people's perspectives is very important when you're trying to assist them in achieving those objectives. And then later on, when it goes into hearing, so far I experienced twice, but the cross-examination and getting on in the box and how you actually handle the situation also requires some personal and people's soft skills to manage that process.
So Naif, coming on to you, if I may, what are the key features that distinguish a good counsel from others, and what are the key features of building future leaders as counsel in arbitration?
Thank you very much, Michael. That's a very good question. I think that the main feature for me, what I personally have been doing with my team, is how to master the local laws and the governing law. The style is different because here in the civil law jurisdiction, you need to know a very important fact. The contract is not the only thing that you need to look at, because a lot of the English system style of handling international arbitration is that the contract is the Bible. Yeah. It overrides everything. But when you look at it from civil law perspective, it's not the Bible. The law supplements the contract. The law overrides the contract in a lot of situations. So mastering the law is a key feature for me to build a future leader in this market, and there's a lot of things you need to look at from local law perspective.
Your point about the nuances of dealing with civil law versus common law, having sat both as counsel and having acted as counsel and as arbitrator on disputes coming out of this region, as a common law lawyer, I've had to learn how to deal with those issues, navigate those issues. Don't make the assumption, which common law lawyers unfortunately do, assuming the whole world is common law. It isn't.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
but again, it's a fact. I mean, there's certain arrogance that comes with being a common law lawyer, assuming that everybody does.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, the way we do it, that's not the case. But you learn that, and to your point about promoting yourself, Michael, you reflect that in your CV. You let people know that you've got that experience. You've had the experience with dealing with common law matters, civil law matters, so that people can see that, oh right, okay, he's got this sort of experience. So when Naif comes to appoint an arbitrator, he's looking at the CV. Oh, this chap has got that experience. So that's what you really need to do to make sure that you're putting yourself out there, making sure that people are aware of your USP, and making sure that they are aware of the competencies that you have. And that's really crucial.
In terms of promoting yourself, Claire, as an expert, how do you go about that?
It's really about getting visibility. It's about being in the room. It's really about showing who you are and what you stand for, building that network, that personal network. People actually know who you are and what you're about.
Promoting yourself as an arbitrator, I think it's important to, as Claire says, to be visible. Be out there, you write articles, you attend conferences, media conferences, the sort of thing, for instance, you get your name out there. Increasingly important use of social media. I am of a certain age where social media is not native to me. I've had to learn to use, but it's a really important tool to help promote yourself and to be visible. Both as counsel and as arbitrator, I've got a general CV, but I've got specialist CVs that focus on particular jurisdictions, particular sectors, to demonstrate and showcase your skills and abilities.
Being in a company that provides that kind of opportunity, working with the right people, getting correct mentoring guidance from seniors, and when you are learning and developing, you want to do that in Champions League. So that's important that you are in the right environment, in the right company, and getting involved in the big projects. And lastly, obviously, continuous improvement and skills and abilities are important now.
I'm sure everybody in the room, when they are doing whatever role they're doing, has colleagues and peers that they turn to. So that doesn't stop. We are all learning all the time. And I think that's fantastic. So thank you for that. So Claire, why should clients and lawyers give opportunities to fresher faces like Sir Chan?
I think in terms of bringing a different perspective, there's one thing that really stands out to me. I don't want to say that the younger generation, they communicate differently, they behave differently. Of course they probably do, but I think for the next generation of experts, they're very forward-looking. They're really thinking about what is the next challenge for this case? What are the general challenges coming up from what I see in my market, what I see in the economy? What are going to be the future hurdles? Because they can't say, I've got 30 years experience and I did this case 20 years ago and this is what happened, and so I'm just going to do the same thing again. But there are some practical things that we can do, and certainly things that I do. So we look at co-signing expert reports, or if I do have a lead assistant, their name is actually mentioned as my lead assistant in my report, and I also append their CV as well as mine. So I really think it's important to get the name and the visibility out there. And although the opinions are all mine, I think it is totally accepted that I can't possibly do all the work. Of course I have a team that help me, and it's giving them visibility.
I think the most important thing as an arbitrator is trust. I need to be able to trust what counsel's telling me. I need to be able to trust what the expert's telling me. Credibility is very important. If you lose that credibility, it's gone. You're not getting it back. I don't necessarily have to agree with you, but I need to know that if you tell me that night is day, that day is night and night is day, I can trust what you're saying. And certainly with experts, witnesses, if I don't trust you, I'm just simply going to ignore whatever you're saying. So that credibility is a really critical factor when, as a tribunal, you're looking at, looking at counsel and witnesses. And it helps if they know what they're talking about as well. Your life is a lot easier as a tribunal if you have on both sides competent counsel.
Thank you everyone for attending and joining us this evening. It's been fantastic for all the organisation. Thank you.